Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 6.
Now at 6 o'clock, from Lincoln to the Lynx. UNL students landing on the Masters hospitality team. How this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity could open doors beyond Augusta. Then, rescue roundup. Dozens of animals taken from a Pilger property. How a joint operation saved them. And shutdown shock. A popular local marketplace closing its doors. What one local business is doing for those with nowhere to go. Right now, a local card shop is recovering after an overnight break-in. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. Good to have you with us. Capital City Sports Cards waking up to their front door being smashed in last night. Today, they're reporting what things were taken. They said it was quite a bit. Channel 8's Jake Holman joins us live after speaking with people at the shop about how they're moving forward. Jake?
Yeah, Rod, despite some hefty damages and stolen goods, the owner here of Capital City Sports Cards is putting on a brave face and is in good spirits, leaving their doors open today following that theft. Now, the break-in, according to LPD, took place around 2:45 this morning, shattering that front door, breaking more glass cases inside. The owner says it's costing them roughly $10,000 to $20,000 worth of stolen merchandise and repairs. But he also says he's received an outpouring support from the community, neighboring businesses dropping off lunch, customers coming in to donate cards, and plenty others stopping by just to shop. Some even telling me off camera they heard what happened and wanted to come support. Dietrich says it's been awesome to see.
I'm up to 30 or 40 missed phone calls and Facebook messages, and everybody just stopping by to see. I mean, everybody. It's out of the kindness of their heart, and it's been cool to see the outreach from the community.
Now, Dietrich adds this isn't the first time his store has actually been robbed, happening one other time at a different location. And with a rise in the sports card industry, he feels that's part of the reason why it's happening more often. Now, authorities also believe the suspect involved in this break-in is responsible for another robbery taking place at Romantics. It's an ongoing investigation. For now, reporting live here in Lincoln, Jake Coleman, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Jake. And playing off of that, yeah, there was a break-in at Romantics adult store, and we have it all caught on camera. And when I say we, I really mean we, because the store that was broken into is just right across the street from our station here on South 10th Street. Check out the video we have. This was recorded on one of our security cameras attached to our building. You can see that truck right there, circling the area a little after 2 a.m. It goes through the subway drive-through area. Well, police say they returned a few minutes later and broke into Romantic, smashing their glass door and taking several items before leaving the scene. This video sent into our Now Local News app showing officers leaving the scene of the break-in after checking everything out. They say the person who broke in was a man wearing a tan jacket and carrying a bag. If you have any information that could help police in this case, you can call them or you can remain anonymous by reporting it to Crime Stoppers. Let's get to your first forecast on this Wednesday night as we take a live look outside from our tower cam here at the station. Yeah, we had some sun and clouds for most of the day. It looks pretty blue right there, Rusty, but I understand some storms were rumbling, or maybe still, we'll find out, through parts of the state. Let's check in with Rusty to get the latest.
Yeah, we had quite a few storm reports out there with hail. That was our main issue today. A lot of 1-inch in diameter hailstones, but there were a couple that were just a little bit bigger. Here's a look at where all that hail fell. Is mostly east central parts of the state along and north of Interstate 80, especially right there. That one had 2 inches in diameter. If you're wondering how big is 2 inches, it's just a little bit bigger than a golf ball. It's the size of a lime, and that fell near Dwight, or in Dwight. And I did see quite a few pictures from Dwight, and that town was covered with hail. Not all of the stones were that big, but there was a lot of hail that fell in that area. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, Honda of Lincoln, a lot of sunshine in Lincoln, but you can see some clouds off on the horizon. Yeah, there's some storms out there, but it's 71 and sunny right now in Lincoln with a northwest wind. There's the storms, just a spot shower moving through York and then a thunderstorm rolling through Grand Island, and Hastings. It's not a strong storm, but it's still a storm. So we'll talk more about that and how much more precipitation we can expect in the coming days in a few.
All right, thank you, Rusty. Well, right now, the community stepping up for vendors who are now without a place to go. On the heels of an abrupt closure, dozens of local vendors left with nowhere to go.
That was either their only source of income or a large part of their income.
Empty shelves and uncertainty for small businesses across Lincoln.
It's heartbreaking to see small businesses and having no place to go.
But in the middle of it all, one store is stepping up.
We're just doing all we can to make sure that people can have a home.
And several spots across Lincoln are opening their hearts and their doors to offer space for vendors in their time of need. Channel 8's Emma Norwood joins us after speaking with one of those lending a helping hand. Emma?
Hey, good evening, Rod. What used to be full tables of merchandise are now empty. That's where Creative Collabs Collective comes in. They're now making space for 9 vendors who were left with nowhere to go after Painted Tree Boutiques closed their doors, like you mentioned. As a small business owner herself, Melanie Rizak felt a calling to lend her space for others. Across Lincoln, the effects of Painted Tree Boutiques closing its doors are being felt. But one local business is making sure no one gets left out in the cold.
So we had some extra spots open, thankfully. So I was able to accommodate 9 of the Painted Tree vendors that had to evacuate yesterday. And I'm hoping to add a few more. We're just doing all we can to make sure that people can have a home and have a platform to sell their stuff still.
Creative Collabs Collective of Nebraska immediately stepping in after the announcement of the closure. For owner Melanie Rizak, the decision to help came easily because this hits close to home.
For some of the Painted Tree vendors, I mean, that was either their only source of income or a large part of their income. You know, that's how they're supporting their families. So to be just so unexpectedly, abruptly closing, I mean, this is a life-changing alteration for them. And so it's heartbreaking to see small businesses in the community being just uprooted and having no place to go.
Creative Collabs taking in 9 vendors so far to fill these empty shelves. And Rizak isn't stopping there. She's planning to move some things around inside the store in hopes of giving more vendors a new home.
This just really magnifies small businesses and the importance to the community that they fill. The small businesses are the ones, you know, that are donating to schools and giving back to your daughter's cookie company or anything like that. So I feel like small businesses really are the backbone of Lincoln, and I definitely think that they have a good support system in the community behind them.
Creative Collabs is hosting a free vendor market in their parking lot on Sunday, April 26th. And there's a link with more information about the event in this article on our website, KOKNTV.com. Reporting here in the studio, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Nice of them to do that. Thank you so much, Emma. New at 6, dozens of animals removed from a northeast Nebraska property. The Nebraska Humane Society teaming up with the Stanton County Sheriff's Office for an animal rescue mission, removing more than 50 animals from a property in Pilger. They served a search warrant and found a mix of animals, including dogs, cats, goats, and even many horses. They were taken from the property. The Nebraska Humane Society out of Omaha was on the scene to help handle and check each one out. All of the animals will now undergo health evaluations before being transported to NHS facilities in Omaha for care. Well, stay with us. We have plenty more coming up after the break, such as ranchers recovering. Many are dealing from the devastating wildfires still, and what UNL is saying to help them do so more effectively. And coming up tonight at 10, Big Red Rally. Why a Hall of Fame Husker football player is calling on the community around him. A story you'll only hear on Channel 8. Stay with us. We're back in just 60 seconds. New at 6, Husker students taking on the Masters, a tradition unlike any other. UNL students selected to work hospitality at the Masters tournament. How about that? The group spent nearly 2 weeks in Augusta working long hours and learning on one of golf's biggest stages. The students working 12 to 14-hour days during the tournament. They were part of a team of about 1,000 hospitality professionals helping serve members, players, and patrons. The UNL professor at the center of it all says the experience isn't just about the moment, but the skills and connections students take with them after they leave.
To put it into perspective, a student just mentioned yesterday, after working and coming back, this was at the airport, her exact words was, "My standards are different now." So I think that speaks a lot, right? And that's what Masters is about, right? It is an amazing place.
And coming up tonight at 10, we're going to hear directly from the students who made the trip and why they say their futures look different after Augusta.
We're not quite done with the precipitation yet. It's winding down, but not quite yet. We do have more rain in the forecast and warmer temperatures. That forecast when we come back.
New tonight, a new outlet for people affected by Nebraska's widespread wildfires. Farmers and ranchers and lots of people in the affected areas have had their lives changed, of course, by the damage caused by the wildfires. UNL hosting a webinar today to give people a road to recovery. And Channel 8's Meg West joins us in the newsroom after listening in to see what kind of advice they were giving. Meg?
Yes, good evening, Rod. Nebraska recovering from the largest wildfires in state history. UNL stepping up to offer help and guidance to ranchers and farmers to help them rebuild and come back stronger than before. UNL's Center for Agricultural Profitability used research from recent wildfire recovery efforts to help guide ranchers on how to restore land health. They're highlighting available programs for wildfire victims. Some topics discussed: livestock losses, fencing repair, debris removal, and more.
There's a lot of pieces to this. So grazing losses, which is the actual loss of the grass, the cost of buying feed above normal. So if you have to go buy hay to replace the grass that you lost, if you had feed that burned up in the fire, so if you had hay stacks that burned up in the fire, that's the purchased and produced feed losses.
The university also introducing their new wildfire monitoring website, an interactive tool designed to give timely data and resources for these impactful fires. And UNL is hoping that these resources don't give farmers and ranchers just the chance to recover, but also to fully rebuild. In the newsroom, Meg West, Channel 8 News.
Thank you, Meg. Omaha police releasing the name of the officers involved in yesterday's incident that left one woman dead and a child in the hospital. She tried to abduct a 3-year-old inside a Walmart and slashed his face with a knife. Here are the officers, Brian Seaton and Roger Osika. Because of the nature of the incident, it's currently under investigation and will require a grand jury, which is normal protocol. Also, the governor also commenting tonight, short, sweet, and to the point, calling the officers heroes. Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansing also commenting on yesterday's horrific event there in Omaha. He says it really illustrates the dangerous reality of, in his words, repeat offenders and Nebraska's mental health crisis. He's calling on politicians and local leaders to work together to find solutions to prevent incidents like this from happening.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Had quite a bit of severe weather earlier this morning into the early afternoon. That has since gone by the wayside, but still some storms out there. They're dwindling. I mean, they don't make it much further east than, well, York is trying to hang on to a spot shower there. Decent looking storm here from Grand Island to Doniphan to Hastings. And in fact, we've got a pretty good view of this from Aurora. I'm going to get out of the way here. Look at that. As you can see sunshine on one side and the storm on the other. That's the storm over there on the left-hand corner of the screen. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the thunderstorms are trying to roll through. Again, they're below severe weather limits. And you can even kind of see the tops of those storms way off to the west. This is 21st and L Street. This is going to be a good-looking sunset. I just know it on our Allo Cam. 71 degrees right now in Lincoln. You can see where the storms are at, where there's some cooler temperatures. Speaking of cool, Norfolk at 61, but still 76, one of the warmer spots in Falls City. 62 in Aurora, where that storm is close. 64 in Grand Island and Hastings. A toasty 71 and 72 in Wahoo, Lincoln, and Beatrice. The wind, not bad, out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. There's those storms again, and look at all the lightning trying to rumble through. This will likely look like this. Once this storm gets here, it'll probably look like this. They just keep diminishing in strength, kind of running into a little more stable atmosphere. But sunshine, clouds, spot shower, thunderstorm. It must be spring in Nebraska. Here's a closer look one more time as that storm rolls through and across 281 between Grand Island and Hastings. Zooming out on the other side of that, not much going on, maybe a spot shower over here. Some very strong storms over on the other side of Des Moines, but for us, we're just kind of on the edge. So that eventually tapers off. It's next to nothing by about 7 o'clock this evening, and then that'll be it. I think we'll be left with mostly clear skies to start the day on Thursday. Thursday looks fine. Friday, however, looks interesting. Here's what's going to happen. There's a chance for some snow in parts of the Panhandle. And then this right here really depends on where this lines up. Right now, models are trying to say to our south and east by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But if it's just a little bit further towards us, we could see some very strong storms. So because of that, we're right on the edge of a marginal risk, level 1 from Omaha to Lincoln, a little further south and east, a very thin line of slight risk, and then a huge area of enhanced risk from southwestern Wisconsin all the way through the eastern half of Iowa, most of Missouri, and into Kansas City and eastern parts of Kansas. So we're on the edge of this one once again. It seems like we've been on the edge a lot. Isn't there an Aerosmith song like that? 46 degrees in Lincoln tonight for the overnight low. Highs tomorrow, summer-like, middle 80s. maybe a little warmer if we can see enough sunshine, and that's possible. 74 with that storm chance on Friday. Look how much colder we get. I don't think everybody will see the light mixed precipitation early Saturday, but the chance is there with that temperature dropping into the 30s if there's some lingering showers about. And a chilly day on Saturday, 58, then right back into the 70s and 80s as we head through next week. Storms possible on Earth Day.
Rusty. New tonight, a new law is in effect here in Nebraska meant to tighten up rules around election finances. Today, Governor Jim Pillen signing a bill into law banning foreign bodies from making contributions to ballot questions in our state. He says it's going to help protect our policies from outside influence.
You're going to be obligated to pay a fine that's in the amount of the contribution or $100,000.
The bill was introduced by Senator Bob Anderson. Nebraska already has laws regulating foreign contributions to ballot question committees, but authorities say it has loopholes. They say the new law closes those gaps, but clearly defining also what counts as contributions and imposing heavy fines, as you heard, for violations. Governor Pillen says the measure will help boost Nebraskans' confidence in the election process. All right, coming up next, we are talking high school baseball, Nate.
Yeah, the Heartland Athletic Conference baseball tournament has been in action all day today over at Dan Hardock, with the semifinal games being played this afternoon. The championship game is underway right now. We'll have the latest in the Sports Zone. Be back here in a bit.
By Greens Furnace and Plumbing. Here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
Well, hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning into the Sports Zone today. It's Nate Johnson rocking with you. We start with some pretty big news in the world of Nebraska and college volleyball at a luncheon hosted by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce today. Head coach Danny Busboom Kelly confirmed that Nebraska will play Texas this fall. The match won't be in Lincoln, and details will be released as soon as the contract details are finalized. Now, these two teams have not played since that 2023 national championship game when Texas swept Nebraska. These two, though, have a long history together, a great rivalry, and have shared many great matches. Nebraska does hold the all-time series between the two, 25-23. This would be a blockbuster match wherever these two end up playing, when they end up playing. Excited to see those details finalized. Two of the game's best meeting together again in 2026. And as we learn more, we'll of course update you on air and on our Now Local News app. And while we're talking volleyball, a reminder that the Huskers will be heading to Omaha to face Creighton in their second exhibition match of the spring. First serve is set for 7 p.m. A heads up though, Creighton posted today that the arena already sold out. That is Creighton and Nebraska fans pretty special. Let's talk some baseball. The Heartland Athletic Conference Tournament in action today. The semifinal games have wrapped up from Den-Hartog with the championship game, well, in progress as we speak. In the early game, Lincoln East took down Columbus 9-4 to secure their spot in tonight's championship game. The Spartans also taking down Lincoln North Star in this year's tournaments for their first game, to secure their spot tonight. Now playing in the 2 and 3 spots, 2 and 3 seeds were Lincoln Southwest and Grand Island. Both teams having pretty solid starts to the season. Grand Island, the better team today, though. They take down the Silverhawks to advance to the championship game, which is, well, it started at 5:30. They're playing right now. Semifinal games goes as follows. Lincoln East beating Columbus 9-4. Grand Island taking on Lincoln Southwest 11-7. So the 3 and 1 seeds meeting as we speak in the Heartland Athletic Conference Championship game. We'll have an update from that one later tonight at 10 p.m. So stay tuned for this evening's action on Channel 8. And that is going to do it for sports tonight. Rob, we'll go ahead and send things back over to you.
All right, thank you, Nate. And Rusty, what can people expect tonight when it comes to the weather? Let's get a recap.
Depends on where you're at, but there is a couple of thunderstorms out here right now and over by the Tri-Cities. Maybe a spot shower, a sprinkle trying to head over towards Lincoln. It would hit Seward first, but that's between York and Seward right now, and that's dwindling as it gets closer and closer to Seward. But that storm over there between Grand Island and Hastings, a lot of lightning bolts with that one. So if you're out and about in and around that area, make sure you head inside just for a little bit till it passes by. A couple of isolated storms out there, but things are clearing out and quieting down as we head through tonight. By about 7, 8 o'clock, that should just about be it, with those temperatures falling eventually into the 50s by 11 p.m. Early tomorrow morning, you're looking at the 40s. Look at this, though. Oh, it's not going to go. One more click. There we go. Middle 80s tomorrow.
Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you right back here at 10 o'clock.
The Amigos Yankee, reinventing the ordinary.